What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Gamerish Network podcast. I want to say this is our Resident Evil 8 edition because we hope you guys tuned in earlier to our Resident Evil 8 live react. We saw some gameplay stuff. We saw some trailers to the upcoming Netflix show, or a trailer, I should say. We saw some stuff about Division 2, getting to play with Resident Evil 8 costumes and shit like that. And all three of us here have played the demo to Resident Evil 8. What was it called?
Immediately? Oh,
I
fuck,
stuck
I
with
don't
the
know.
M.
Sound
Uh,
Maiden.
like a
yeah, I
Maiden.
think so. Yeah, made it. There we
yeah.
go. So as usual, I'm your host Dre. And the host will switch around every week. We're gonna start doing this different. We're gonna start rotating every week. But since this is our first new pod of the year, our first real pod aside from our BBA pod, I'm gonna be starting off this week. Then next week is gonna be Felice or Freddie. So with me, of course, I just said their fucking names. Is Freddie G
Yo, what up, guys?
and Felice Cat, and we're
Hey, what's
back.
good? What's good?
And we're back here again. And this is like we're probably going heavy on Resident Evil 8 today. If we got anything else to bring up, maybe you guys can even. I hope you guys could add on to whatever we're saying, so we keep the conversation going. If we don't go too long, then we'll talk about something else. But other than that, we're probably focusing mainly on Resident Evil 8. And I don't even know exactly where we should start with this. It's like I'm
I
like,
think we
so
hey, so I think a good way to do it. It's let's not talk about the demo. Let's talk about we got a couple like an hour after the live stream to kind of go over our thoughts and stuff. So I know Felicia, you have a lot to say. You're like our Resident Evil mayor on this podcast. So Dre, why don't you go? Because I probably don't have too much to say.
now, when it comes to all right, let's start. All right, let's start with just the gameplay that we saw from it. We saw everything is doing first person again. We're playing with Ethan. That's his name, Ethan.
Yeah.
All right, so play with Ethan again. Continue from Biohazard and stuff. Now I'm kind of wishing that I played the DLC. I might have to go back and buy it to see what happened when Chris got there, and see if that's going to connect in any way to what's happening right now. But so I might go check that shit out. But from what we've seen, yeah, we saw there's a lot more supernatural stuff going on. They definitely veered away from the zombie shit. We got like werewolf shit going on. Like even on the our background that you see Resident Evil Village, if my face wasn't blocking his face, he opens up his left eye and his left eye is yellow, which makes me feel like we might get, if that's him, we're gonna get some type of supernatural abilities. I think we might be able to turn into a werewolf. 'Cause who else would have a yellow eyes but a fucking werewolf? And I
True.
guess that might be a hidden element that might be put into the game, because if you got witches coming after you, these big ass beasts, plus probably some type of zombie form or some new version of the virus, um, I don't think it would be a bad idea if you got fucking werewolf powers, right? That's something that they could incorporate, especially if you're gonna be in first person. But it might be weird, but it might help. So we'll see how that works out. You go ahead, please. Tell me what you thought
Hold
about
on.
the game.
I see chats going up there, guys. Let us know what you guys thought about Gamerish, not Gamerish, the reaction to Resident Evil 8. If you agree or disagree with us, and some stuff that you're maybe excited about, just let us know in chat, and we can talk about it. But go ahead, please. Sorry about that.
Oh, did we lose it? Did we lose it?
Yeah. All right. So I'll go until she interrupts me. Please talk when you're ready.
Oh shit! Can
There
you hear
you
me now?
go.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was muted. All right. So there's a lot to depict from this. I'm not gonna like the whole thing right away, but in general, I think that it's interesting what they're doing. As I was saying earlier in our earlier podcast. Yeah, we follow Ethan Winters, whatever. And it's interesting to try and figure out how Chris is going to play into that. But obviously, at the end of the game, even if you didn't play the extra DLC, you got to see him pop up, right? At least at one of the endings, I think, right? And yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like we said earlier, like what are they doing with what happens to T virus? Why they're like bone like looking zombie kind of things, but not zombie kind of things, Um, you said witches. I have a different theory. Obviously, the internet, I'm sure, has a very different theory.
I know vampires. Vampires.
Yeah. I was like, witches. I don't know about no witches. You
Now,
played
see,
the devil.
no, I was thinking of witches because they look hot, and I know like there's a lot of hot.
Vampires look hot too, though.
Yeah, vampires are hot too.
Unless they're like Dracula when he just woke up.
I remember
But
True Blood.
yeah.
Or Twilight. I'm just
No, we
joking.
won't discuss
Yeah,
that. We
how
won't
did I go
discuss.
to Twilight?
No Twinkle Batman today. Um, but no, I think it's pretty interesting from the shit the merchant that they brought that back kind of from Resident Evil 4, that aspect of weapons. They
Yeah,
brought the
I
customizations back with that.
I don't understand why they're pushing that so hard.
There's no
Like,
reason.
there
There
has to
is
be a
no
reason. I just
reason.
don't
There
think they're doing a good job of like
it's
making me
because they
like I don't when
yeah.
he pops on the screen, I don't want to see more of him. And they keep like, hey, he's really
But
interested. He has
but
emotions. I don't want a
but
fat
he is
ass
the
on my screen. Like,
I get that, but he is the light. That he's supposed to be the light part of the thing. Do you remember in Resident Evil 4? Like,
no, I get that part. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, let's think about this. You're in a village, like
yeah.
poor people everywhere, vampires, werewolves, and shit. And you see this
I
fat
mean,
dude
it's not.
jump
There's
out of
not. There's
fucking
no
the
poor
back of a
people. That's not
trailer.
even. That's not even what I'm getting from this. It's not
No,
even
I'm
like
just
that.
saying, but like, it's just not realistic. How is he so fat?
I mean, the
What's his
game is not
backstory?
realistic if you want to be real.
Hey, as long as
But
they're puzzles, I
but
think it's realistic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
oh yeah, you know what? You right. You right. The puzzles are so realistic that Dre don't even want to be bothered with them. But anyway,
saying?
no. But
Thank you, Mo. He agrees with me.
no. He laughing at you. He not
No,
laughing.
he's laughing with me because
No, he
nobody
not.
see so
But
fat white
anyway,
guy.
I get
Fat.
that. I get that. But you do realize where they're going with this, right? The whole him and everything. It's supposed to be a whole feel of the place, the vampires. I mean, should I go into that now, or should I just
No,
wait for
let's
you
save
guys?
it. Let's save it. Yeah.
Well, no, you could go ahead
No,
into
because I
like,
didn't tell my
no,
part.
no, I'm
He
not
gotta, he
saying.
gotta, he gotta go. He gotta go too. I can't do rants like you, Dre. You gotta,
I know. Right?
you gotta like,
It's a
you gotta
wow
like
Tabor.
let them work up to it. You
He's just
can't.
used to. He's like, yeah, just
No,
fucking go.
no.
No,
Sorry
you
to
gotta
get
work
into
up
because
to
you
it.
were talking about the
This
environment.
book
I was
is
just gonna say
mad
that
stuff.
I don't remember while watching this. I don't get a feel for a village. Like I barely saw a village while they were showing this demo.
Yeah.
I remember walking through a mansion more than I remember him walking through a village.
Yeah, I mean, his car is outside technically, but there there is a village right now. They only show you the house. From what I'm gathering, there is a village, kind
Yeah,
of
of
like what
course.
you said earlier, the Bloodborne feel. Even though this is not supposed to be Bloodborne, there is a village like in Bloodborne. You walk through the fucking towns, right? So I think that they're only showing you one part. Like, did you see the trailer? Forget when we play this demo because we're not talking about that right now.
No,
You
no.
watched the trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
the
talking about
trailer
the gameplay
is.
trailer. I barely.
Do you remember do you remember what she said on the phone to that dude or whomever? I assume it was a dude. Do you remember she said on the phone? She was like, "Hey, I need you to come." Ethan Withers. I keep saying his name wrong. Ethan Winters has come here, and it seems as if he escaped. Obviously, and my daughters are having trouble handling him. So you need to get here. Basically, that's the gist of what she says. So please refrain from posting links. Someone posted something. I don't know
Yeah,
what that
he
is. Oh, I'll delete that. Don't worry about that. But
Don't
yeah,
worry about
yeah. So basically, that was the gist of what was happening with that. So, um, yeah, there is a village. They're not showing us that,
Yeah,
you know. So
I think it's
yeah.
gonna be interesting how because this is taking place in today, like today, right? Like it's not in the past. It's like today. There's a part where like Chris breaks into a house. It looks like it's a regular house, so it's gonna be interesting to see kind of when we go to that village and experience like how they gonna explain that story. How is this village so far backwards when everybody else is in the 21st
Well,
century?
have you
So I'm
been?
not
Have you ever been to different country where they live like that?
no, but I'm
it.
just curious how they're gonna tell that story. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying like I'm curious how they're
Oh,
gonna tell that story about how like maybe this mansion is like their mirror, or maybe that's why they're there and the because I'm pretty sure they're gonna turn to zombies and like try to kill us and protect.
zombies. I don't think there's no zombies. There's no zombies. Like remember Los
Okay, but
Plagas? Do you remember Los Plagas in Resident Evil 5? They were
I
zombie
know you're that
adjacent.
Resident Evil expert, but
I'm
everything in
sorry.
Resident Evil
I'm
is
sorry.
zombies. Okay, sorry.
Resident Evil 5, they started changing that shit up.
Yeah, but
Los
okay, whatever.
Plagas.
How would okay, but like zombie type enemies? Is that better? um, I'm curious the storytelling because I think Resident Evil one of the strong parts of Resident Evil 7 was the story and
It's
just
just,
how creepy it was and how paced out it was. So, and that was partly because you was kind of blocked from everything. You was in a house and you had to escape that house. And even when you went outside, it still felt kind of like you were just surrounded all the time. So, I'm looking forward to that
yeah.
and wondering how they did that. Speaking of the live stream, it was so fast. It was like 20 minutes.
It was like 35 minutes, I think.
Was
Yeah,
it?
but like
Yeah, it did feel short.
just touching on it because it won't be a long conversation. The multiplayer that is supposed to be free for anyone who bought Resident Evil 8.
Well,
One thing I'm pretty sure it's free to play if you buy Resident Evil 8. I did like the cell shading of it. Actually, I thought that was pretty cool. It seemed like just a fun thing to do. Just like if you really like these characters, I think
Hold
it'd
on,
be fun.
wait. Did you like the cell shading? Was it you who always mentioned that you
it's not
needed
about
cell
graphics
shading?
anymore. It's not about
I don't
graphics
know. It just
anymore.
reminded me of Cyberpunk for some reason. Like I just like that kind of cell shading look.
Uh,
Most
remind me
cyberpunk
of
is
one of those
really
games
cell shaded.
Sorry, I
you were
meant
playing.
Crackdown. Crackdown. My bad.
Yeah,
I was
Crackdown.
like,
There you go. Yeah,
No, because you know what? There was a mod for Crackdown to look like Cyberpunk to look like Crackdown. So that's why I got it on. Like I'm just thinking Cyberpunk. But yeah,
oh, word?
yeah, it was like a PC mods are so lucky people have PCs because they mod the shit out of games. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. It's free. Did you got anybody try the Resident Evil multiplayer that came out just not too long ago?
yeah. I played it for like a
Well,
day,
I
and
was
I
gonna,
was just like,
yeah.
not gonna last long. It was okay. Like it's better when you're the person setting traps than the people that's trying to survive because like it feels like you have like unlimited power as the person that's setting the damn traps.
Yeah,
Um, But this
Yeah.
multiplayer, if I have to comment on it, looked forgettable to me. I didn't like it. I don't like how it looks. It looks way too generic. Looks like I'm playing Resident Evil 2 on a multiplayer split screen on N64. That's what it looked like to me. So I have no interest in it. It better have some great mechanics. I'll play it, of course, if I'm getting it for free. We'll stream it probably together. But if anybody's going to talk some shit about it, it's probably going to be me while we're streaming that.
yeah. I just thought I'd
I,
touch on it. I think it was something like
I,
they didn't need to do. I thought that they tried something different. And I appreciate that. That's all.
But let's
you guys are killing my life right now. You guys are
no,
killing
go,
my
go
life.
ahead, go
No, we're
ahead.
talking about the live stream.
Oh
There's like,
my gosh.
uh,
You're just like, well, this is crap. We don't like this. This is crap.
no, I
Y'all go
thought it was
Resident
cool.
Evil. Listen, okay, this is not the first time they've done this. This is not they're not going to stop doing it. I mean, I have a whole list of like freaking games that they've done it with, which I'm pretty sure I deleted that app. But anyway, literally they have, Operation Raccoon City, the last one, which wasn't really crap. It was entertaining for the moment, even though I did stop playing it after a while. But that's only because I beat the game. Resident Evil, the last one was Resistance, which was pretty interesting. They also had Outbreak. They did that. They tried to do that. There was the Umbrella Corps. There's a lot of instances where they have actually played not played they actually created some sort of multiplayer, and yeah, most cases it don't work out,
Yeah,
but it's free. They're not, for once, they're not charging you for it, just
that's what
like
I'm saying. Like,
Resistance.
I think that's pretty
Why
cool.
So
can't
I
they
think
make a Left 4 Dead type Resident Evil?
because they're not Left 4 Dead.
Yo,
If you
yo,
want
no,
Left 4 Dead,
how
go
many guys
to
clones have been?
Valve and ask them to release
I
the
think it's
rights.
dangerous because then if it's shit, then everybody's like, oh, look at them trying to do something like Left 4 Dead, and
I
they'll get
don't
shit
think
on for
so,
trying to copy
because
off of it.
We ain't
I
tell
think that as long as
Warzone.
you're not day and age, if you're not cyberpunk, no one cares. Like, it's fine. You can get away with murder as long as you're not cyberpunk right now.
I mean, yeah, that's stupid, but yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I think that Reverse is a try. They want to keep some sort of content continuing. Um, Resistance, interesting. I mean, they had some things they could have fixed, obviously, but I think that it's a try, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a footnote, realistically, in the grand scheme of the greatness of what could be with the game, though, right? No one's really talking about Reverse.
No.
No, not even close.
I was gonna say, are we surprised no movie trailers, no TV shows announced? Was there a TV show announced?
No, they showed off some of the
Like I saw like a
Netflix stuff.
Netflix thing, yeah.
Yeah, they show little clips from there and stuff. And then
Clips about what? It must have been so fast.
yeah, it was so fast. I think we were so all just focused on the Resident Evil 8 and stuff that we didn't even really care much to focus on that. But did you guys feel anything about the oh god, it feels like it's so long ago. But Division Two is like, what's the point of adding costumes to Division Two at this point in time? And like, I can understand if there was some new Division Two DLC coming out, like some main story DLC, and you're like, hey, if you want to play with some Resident Evil outfits during playing the DLC, here's your chance. But I don't know if this is their way of trying to revive the game now. But it was great when it came out, but I have no reason to go back to Division Two right now.
Well, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people playing that game currently.
It's still like
it did a lot better. It has just because Dre is not excited about the Division doesn't mean that no one else wants the Division.
I'm just saying why that game out of all the other games.
I can't give you a direct answer for that, but there's probably some DLC coming out other than that free stuff that's coming out. They probably made some deal or something because it's like, I mean, if you think about was it Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, like you remember like the stars people that came in to clean up the island to you know, and they found all these like dead bodies and stuff like that, and like it's like Division adjacent. It's like apocalyptic. It makes sense. It fits. I mean, why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
Yeah, I think it's cool that they're doing it, but I think a little bit of what Dre is saying, like if they would have introduced like some kind of rave horde mode on top of that, or like a limited time like for versus like a rave form of just like.
You mean for Resident Evil or for Division?
No, like in Division 2, if they did like if they mixed it more than just like a money grab, it was like, here, Destiny 2 get free skin. I mean, Division 2 get free skin, but that's it. I think if they would have done more, maybe even had like a limited time theme mode where like it's kind of Resident Evil themed. I think that would have been dope.
Oh, they do. That's what they were saying during the thing. They have something. We don't know if it's going to be a raid version, but they said that there's going to be
that was just
skins.
Like limited time, get the skin. That's
No. They said the first one is limited time, which is the Leon just for logging in. That's the Leon Stars uniform, but it said to be a bunch of different weapon skin rollouts and I guess their outfits or whatever. Because they changed that.
I want more than that, like game mode.
There might be. That's what
I'm saying. That would be cool because right now, like,
game modes.
I wouldn't be surprised if Resident Evil and Fortnite got together because they're just like, here's a free skin.
Yeah, that would have been money grabbing right there. Like if they put Fortnite and Resident Evil costumes in Fortnite,
why didn't they do that?
Damn, like I'm even though I don't even play Fortnite unless I'm playing with my son.
That's probably expensive.
I'll pay that V-Bucks to get me some new skins on Fortnite. You know, because my son's whole allowance goes to fucking Fortnite every day.
It makes sense. This is only a 25th anniversary thing, so it's not necessarily simply a money grab. I feel like it's more or less saying like, hey, let's try to get these other shooters. They trying to just get another group of people to come into the Resident Evil series. That's what it sounds like to me.
Man, I love you're passionate. I just wish it wasn't our Resident Evil. You love this game.
I'm just saying that if I know about the game and I do the research that I'm supposed to do. Thanks for following. I'm just saying, like, I got notes.
I know, I see your notes. I'm trying to think what would be.
Not Fortnite. Yeah. Look what happened to Kratos. Yeah, we wanted Kratos.
Yeah,
did you see him like dancing in the background?
I forgot about that.
They did him dirty. No.
How much money you think Fortnite got for that? I mean, how many people you think paid for that skin straight up?
They probably made for it, but I know
it wasn't free.
No, all those skins you have to pay for.
Why do you think Epic could give us free games every week? It's because of Fortnite. That's why we get free games every week. Just because of Fortnite. Because they got paid skins like every 2 days. I see a new skin on there.
I'm going to leave the rest of my games alone then.
Guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining. If you would like, we're having ideas of what would you guys think would be a good Resident Evil and other game crossover. Let us know in chat what you guys think. Not Fortnite, apparently. Nobody likes Fortnite.
No.
It's like either like you love Fortnite or you hate Fortnite. I don't think there's a middle ground.
I was a middle ground for me. I don't play it like that, but I appreciate what it was and what it became.
Yes.
You know,
good way to say that. All right, Philly, so go ahead. What else is in your notebook?
But you know I got more. Shit, man.
Wait, do you want to go to the demo or you want to keep talking about
we could go to the demo if you like, because really and truly my stuff dips in both streams. So what did you think of the demo, Freddie, did you play it yet, or is it
Yeah, I
Dre
played
played it?
it. I think it was pretty cool actually. It was I honestly that demo sold me on the game more than that live stream did. Um,
Right?
yeah, that live stream I felt like it didn't feel it felt like they were giving me what people wanted, but it wasn't like what I wanted. But when I played it and like, I'm only it's not much spoilers. It's like a 10-minute fucking trailer, pretty much. But
Yeah.
when you start it and then you get out of there, my wife was watching and she just saw like a chain move. She got scared, and it's just like that sense of like,
I was playing with Mo. Mo joined my thing while I was playing, and I'm just like, thank God you joined, because I don't know what's about to happen right now.
You screwed up, bitch, weren't you? I was. I know I was.
I'll be an
but it was
open.
the just the sense I forgot how good Resident Evil 7 and 8 is. Like it's just
Yep.
like that. They do such a good job of building a sense of like horror around you. Like one, I'm like,
Yeah.
why the fuck am I down there? And then you see a note. It's all like you can't even read the fucking note. It's just like
No, you can
scraping
read
Wait.
up.
it.
Yes,
You
you
can read
can.
the note.
I
The
read
first
all the
note.
notes.
Yeah, you
All
didn't
the
have to
notes.
read it. You have to like
All the
check
notes.
X twice. Yeah, all the
Play
notes.
again. Play
Oh, I read
again.
all the notes other than that one. That's
So
okay,
you
but
Yeah.
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, so you went through without even reading how to get through. Like the note tells you everything
Oh,
to
I
do.
just did it myself. I just figured it
Yeah,
out.
the note tells you everything to do to
Oh,
get.
that's why. Cause I was stuck at one point, and then I'm just like,
I was
okay,
stuck too.
let me just
Yeah. I pretend read it.
let me just. I play video games. Let me know. I just figured it out just
I
because what they
went
were
through
giving me.
everything slowly, like,
No,
but
yeah, me too. I was enjoying it.
I
crazy,
was
yo.
doing it too.
But yeah, I was gonna say that. Not to get spoilers, because I'm not that passionate. I really I'm excited about 8. I'm looking forward to it. Um,
Go to
yeah,
play
everybody
Visage
keeps
now.
saying
That's
about
great.
that game.
Yeah, Felice is gonna buy Visage and play
Wait,
that.
what's I haven't
That's rooted as the is known as the scariest game out there right now.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about it.
I
But
got
yeah,
you. I got you. I'm writing that down right now.
it was really good. It was really it got me into the game. The only thing is like just because they told us in the beginning, there's no combat, there's no this, there's no that. You kind of knew where it was gonna lead to, so that kind of ruined the experience. But just like getting to that point was really a lot of fun, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, on
Jay?
my end, as soon as I started the demo, first thing I said is, "Yo, like this, how I knew I was gonna be a little bitch through this shit from the get go." But they told us, "Hey, set the screen so you don't see the boxes on the left." I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna put that so I can see the boxes on the
Oh
left."
jeez.
You know,
Same.
like I'm gonna see the boxes on the left. And then they put us on the next screen, make sure the left side is completely invisible. I'm like, nah, I'll put a
Nope.
little shade
Nope.
over here.
What's
I
the
don't need that
point then?
completely invisible. So I start the game, and then like you wake up and shit, you inside that fucking your cell and shit. I'm sorry, people. I'm about to like go step by step in what fuck you.
We posted the video already, so
Like
spoiler.
so, like, I read the note, tells me to look around. I find a little crawl hole. One thing, I already have this thing with crawl holes and stuff
Yep.
like that because of Outlast and The Last of Us. Every time you go through a crawl hole, something gonna jump out at you and grab your ass. So I was already fucked up in my head, like, yo, I'm just waiting for something to grab me. But then when I got out, saw nothing happen. Then I'm in like this other room. I didn't expect the cell door to be open, so I go and I'm like searching the room, and I just bumped the cell door. The shit creaked open. I jumped. I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I realized it was just a fucking door opening. I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then so I go around, I see all these other doors are locked and chained, walking around silently, creeping and shit. I hear that thing banging on the fucking door, like something banging on the fucking door in the background. Then I find that lady who's like laid out there, and I'm like, is she alive? She looks mad real. Like these graphics are like fucking crazy. Then you move away, you turn back around, she's bent over, she got the fucking thing in her back, and then you pull out the fucking thing in her back. Then you turn around and turn back around again, and she's fucking moved out of the cell. And I'm like, who's moving her? And I was telling Mo, I'm like, yo, this bitch is gonna turn up behind us and she's gonna fucking pull me and say some shit, or be like all up in my face or some shit like that, which didn't. I don't want to ruin what happened, so I'm not even gonna say what happened with that. But we get through the mansion. Once we get to the outside, you actually once I saw the front door, I was like, okay, this demo is not gonna be long because there's no way we're making it out the front door. You know, I'll give it this credit. It sold me on the puzzles a little bit because there was only one thing to do. That was find the eye, which wasn't hard to do. Open up the door. I was like, well, if the puzzles are gonna be this simple, fuck it, I could do this. I could. This is the type of puzzle I could freaking do. But the eye was. I found the eye easily. I don't know. I was just looking through everything and all the time, so I found the eye real easily and shit.
It's funny when I got up to the eye part. I thought I didn't look into the glass until like the last minute. I thought it was like the crest on the glass was supposed to be symbolize something. So I looked at that and I started looking around what maybe that symbol was, and of course there was nothing. I almost turned it off because I didn't. I'm like maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed a key. So I went all the way back to where I started, and
Damn.
I followed everything again. And then I'm like, you know what? No, they're telling me this cup for a reason, and then that's where I figured it out. But one thing to touch on was the storytelling from the minute you was in the basement to when you get to the main horror of the mansion was just like there was like stories everywhere. The clothes in the fire, the shoes and the teacup with blood in it.
Blood, yeah.
The in the wine cellar of like the blood dripping out of it, and then you go into
And
the other
stuff
room.
that told the story, like the note from the guy that was working in there,
Yeah,
talking about day one, day two, day
like
three,
that
what
was great.
happened.
That's what I'm saying. That sold me on this game because I'm like, this is fucking a good game right here. Like,
Yep.
and that's why I'm like, this is something that I want to play. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the trailer didn't give me that. I feel like the trailer was like flash, flash, flash.
Because this is a prime example of games that you need to play. Like a lot of people like to judge things based on trailers, and I guess this goes for a lot of games. Like you just can't judge a book by its cover. Play the shit for yourself, like and see if you like it. Unfortunately, sometimes that means dishing out $60 and only getting $30 back. But I'm willing to take that risk. But that's just me. You
Yeah,
know.
so it looks like Chad had the same problem that I think almost all of us had here, just wandering around looking for that fucking eye.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
think that's
happy
what
I wasn't the
happened
only
because it
one.
was for Mo. Thanks for Mo being there with me. He's like, "Yo, don't move too fast. Look everywhere." He's like, "Don't move too fast. Look at everything. Check down there. Check underneath the table. All this stuff." And then I was able to find everything quickly because I just looked at everything. But Felice, let's hear your grand opinion about the demo you played.
Okay, so I won't call it grim, but I do need a minute. All right. So the demo, like to what Freddie said earlier, and then what you said as well, I think was masterful because even though before watching the I guess the beginning of the demo because they showed you it at the end of the reveal. They showed you just like the floor. That's all they showed you and said it was called the Maiden, and we were all like trashing the concept of it. We're disappointed.
Yeah.
When you go into it, the storytelling was so amazing without actual words that it just made me feel like a kid again with like the beautiful storytelling of the horror films of old. You remember the old school horror movies and you're just like uh, there I think I have to
That
say it
got to this one is my Bartesian that came with my KBR membership.
hey, so like that old school storytelling when you were a kid and you're just like damn this shit is so scary and all he did was walk in the room. Like, I feel like that is what they did. They did it with the sounds, okay, the creepy things. Like if you watch because I posted earlier on Gamerish network Facebook group page my experience of playing the damn thing. It took me 45 minutes, but only because like I was fucking up. But literally listening to the creaks, hearing things behind you, getting freaked out. I thought there was someone in the whole time, and then her heart. Did you hear her heartbeat going? And it's the person that the letter was from. I don't know if it was a dick, but I assumed I read it as if it was a woman who wrote those
Me
letters
too.
because of what you saw, and then the stuff you find out later on with the clothes and everything. And I, the heartbeat thing was freaking me the fuck out. Okay, my heart was like, and I was like, oh shit, wait, I need a key. How do I get the key? I was like, wait, there was two things with locks. And there was a dead body hanging, and I was like, wait, what is this dead body for? And then I
That
heard
just
something.
dropped in front of
I know.
you.
I kept no, not that the one that was hanging,
Otherwise,
right? I kept just checking on it, but
There was nothing in
it
there.
was nothing. Yeah, I was just like wasting my
But I was
time.
freaking out in there. And like the other thing earlier on, and I was narrating, I was like, oh, look at this, look at this. Wait, I'm not sticking my hand in that pool of blood. I was like, oh, there she goes. She gonna go stick her hand in that blood. I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna catch something. And it's just like, I don't know. It was creepy to me. in that aspect in so many good ways. It did give me those feel of Resident Evil 7, which is why I love that game so much, because I'm afraid of little kids as it is, but that game was like epic. So that's what I felt about that. I do want to get into like talking about what I felt in reference to the demo about this other stuff. Legit, you know what is paying homage to, right? Like her, who she is. You got that right? Or should I say that?
Who, the vampire or the
Yeah,
character you
like
play?
the vampire lady and her kids.
I don't.
The
I mean,
most infamous murderer, female murderer, a serial killer. She is literally Elizabeth English, Elizabeth Bathory. She is of the house Bathory. She is the one who would wash herself in the blood of the
stay
women
young.
she killed.
Yeah.
Up to 650 that they know of women. She mostly did in terms of virgins. She would kidnap them, have them in her cells. Did you see the spikes in the chairs, the torture chambers? She would cut pieces of their breast off and their face to stay youthful. She'd eat it. Also, there is fun fact. There is a wine called Bethany. You can actually look it up. I have not drank it yet, but I'm gonna look it up and drink it. Where literally it pays homage to that woman, which is kind of crazy in a sense, because the whole thing is her wine that she made was such a sweet flavors because she used blood in the fucking wine, like this. Yeah, she had.
When this releases, we should buy that.
No, I legit want to. Yeah, I want to drink that. But yeah, literally, and then like the concept, like obviously, it's like telephone game. The story has been changed over obviously forever because it was in the 1500s or whenever 1590 to 16 something when she got tried for like because 300 witnesses who were partially all like mutilated found in her dungeons. Yeah, so basically this is literally that. I'm not
Guys,
to get too much
if you just joined us right now, we are talking about Resident Evil
Yeah,
8
sorry.
and not serial killers. Just a heads up.
Well, I mean, she's kind of crazy, but yeah, the serial killer. He's like, yeah, I'll pass on. No, it's pretty dope. Your guy, you have nothing to worry about except, I mean, maybe, if you read the note in the demo, but yeah, so it does that, which I think is pretty awesome. Those little dualities, like from taking stuff from history and putting it into the game, like they did fucking research, and like the daughters, like the concept, the relation between that and like not saying Dracula's brides, but like the women that they were literally like the same concept, like kind of like Catherine the Great kind of a thing. But anyway, so that I thought was pretty dope. And mind you, this is not a demo. This is an experience demo. So this is not meant to be exact of what is gonna happen. If
they
just want you
done this in
to wind yup and yuck.
I hope we see her body laying somewhere when we come in as Ethan, though. Like,
I mean, you might find her parts because they use all the pieces.
Yeah, so hopefully somewhere.
Yeah, so I mean that was pretty cool. One thing I do want to say back about the trailer, because I know we kind of dipped back to the demo because the demo was like I had to say it about that guy in the cart, like not him specifically, but do you remember in Resident Evil was it 7 where you got the psychostimulants and you got to see like the stuff on the map? Pretty much, there are people speculating that there might be something that they're gonna do in this one. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be Wolfsbane or whatever, because you did say wolves earlier, where you saw wolves and stuff like that, right? Where it's gonna be like a relevant version in this game where you get to see stuff in the map because they're working really much on like customization of weapons and combining stuff in terms of like the making new items like they did prior.
What do you guys think about them bringing back the inventory system? It's like going back in the past after I thought we were done with that shit. Like, back to this thing again. I hate that
like
shit.
Oh my gosh, you guys are not fans.
No, I hate that inventory management shit. Like, man, I'm just finished playing Hitman where I'm holding like my 2 guns in me. I'm holding a baseball, a fucking screwdriver, and all that shit. And it all fits perfectly what's in my suit. I don't gotta do no.
Why do you give that shit? But they say puzzles is bullshit. Like you can't like have like unlimited inventory and then be like, why is there puzzles in my game? Real life, we don't have puzzles. What bad?
Okay, so where's the suitcase we supposed to be holding while
It's on
walking
his
through the
back.
damn Resident Evil games? Huh?
He's
Where's
like
Wait,
my
what?
he's
suitcase?
like Batman.
They
He has
got
all these little
luggage. They got
fucking
luggage. It's a
yeah.
carry-on. It's a
Where's our
carry-on.
luggage on our bodies? Show me the luggage on my body that I gotta have time to go. I got this fucking zombie chasing me, but I got time to pause, open up my case, and just move
What?
my shotgun up here, my thing
I
down
like that.
here.
I think it was fun.
And
It's
just
like a
go
little puzzle
straight.
thing
I hated
within
that
the
shit.
thing.
And that's the downfall of Visage when you finally play it, is because they tried to do that inventory shit and it didn't work out.
I
It
was
didn't.
gonna
Really?
say Phillies, because I swear there was crafting already, but they made a big thing out of it. Is it different type of crafting, or 'cause I thought
Maybe
you always
with
could
the
craft?
gun.
Yeah.
Maybe craft it
It's
within
like
your case.
well, okay. I believe it was Resident Evil 4 is the one that like mentioned. No, Resident Evil 4 mentioned some of this. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 actually, because they had the guy that was selling you items too in Resident Evil 4. So they kind of started the ball rolling that, and I know they went away with it with 6 and 7 kind of mostly. But the whole idea with crafting was like in Resident Evil 4, you could like you had a weapon and you had these pieces, you could add it to it, and then like if like when you get another piece, you can add that to it too.
But not like
So
actually
they have
make
a
it.
separate. Like, do you remember how difficult it was to walk around and only have 3 color what do you call it?
Those flower
The
Herb,
things. Yeah.
flowers, the herbs.
herb.
Yes, yeah, herbs. You have herb slots, and you got this weird gun that takes up 3 slots. Now you have this extra space for just for crafting, where it's a separate inventory just for crafting. Like, my dude, thank you. I'm not gonna get mad at that. If you don't want to craft drain and die, that's fine. I'll watch that shit. But I'm gonna be over here with my nice gun from the big old hobo that's inside that little thing outside the house. I don't know what he's doing out there, but he out there selling, stuff and giving me like side jokes, like dad jokes. I'm gonna be about that. I'm gonna be about that. I don't know.
I don't mind when he shows up because you always know
It's a
when
safe spot.
once the selling
Same,
guy shows
same
up,
before him, after him rather.
there's no zombies or anything around. That'll be like my breathing area.
All right. One thing I would like to mention. I wonder if it's gonna be like what was it? Which Resident Evil? It was two. Whatever. The one that follows you around and just follows you throughout the prison and
Nemesis, or you're talking about Mr.
whatever. Do you think it's gonna have a version of that in this? Because we did glimpse it a
Nah.
little bit when she was walking and you kind of hiding.
The big
Because what was in
boss.
the no,
They
just
have
like
elements of that in 7.
no,
Like,
I'm just saying. Do you think they're gonna add that again? Like, you think there's gonna be like some like boss just following you? Because that mansion seemed pretty safe. I'll just be hard to imagine
I don't think they're going to do that here.
zombies around that mansion. I can't like
They
imagine
can't
it.
play it out 3 games in a row.
No, I'm curious. I wonder if they're gonna
Yeah,
get away
I
from
doubt
that
they're
or
going to
if
do
they're
that
gonna like
again because it'll be played out too easily.
Yeah.
Definitely played out too easily.
and one thing is a thing I was a little concerned about was the puzzles, not like that there were puzzles, but the fact that like the puzzles felt very similar to 7, kind of like find this, clip this, find the key, do this, and it was like
Hey,
I wish it would have been a little more
I would say yes, but no.
innovative.
Because did you see after you? I don't know if it was during the trailer or if it was during the game. I don't remember because they in my brain they're meshed as one. The stuff that came out of the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think they're exactly like Resident Evil. I think that
no,
they're
no,
like
I'm saying like the vibes felt the same.
of the vibe. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
hey, that's all I
Because
got.
man, that puzzle with the statues and putting the pieces in statues, that took me forever. I had to like legit like look it up. It was like the first puzzle of the game, and I what was the one where you in the police station when you had to like open the staircase under the
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah.
was just like
Um,
ridiculous.
well, I mean, that's what Jay was saying earlier. He was like annoyed by the fact that, like, why if I'm running away from zombies, do I have to go find these pieces to open up this piece, just to go to this other room, just to find this file to go? That's what he was
Well, when it
kind of
comes
like.
to those
I
older
mean,
games, I just want to know who had the time to do all that. Who's like, let me put this here and make this here. And, if there's just this one instance when the world goes to shit and someone has to run around this fucking precinct and do all this shit, I did a clever job.
Yo, if I ever had like a panic room, I'm gonna make it mad hard for people to get in there. I'm not gonna like just push a button. I'm like, yo, get that puzzle piece, move it over there, okay, my panic room. Like if you had a panic room in your room, at your house, would you just make it easy for somebody to come in?
Well, it's not that, but the problem was that
I'm
even
joking. I'm
in the
joking.
regular areas of the precinct that weren't underground, they had rooms that needed special shaped keys with diamonds on it to get in. Like, so were all the police people out there just like, hey, who has the diamond on their key today? Like, am I supposed to get all that? That's the only thing that used to get
Well,
me with Resident Evil. Plus, I was
yeah.
scared all the time and having to run back through areas where dogs are jumping through windows and all this stuff. I didn't want to do all that. I think I had my friend Gregory when I was like 8 years old come to my house and play through the game, and I'm like, yo, you play, I'll watch. And I remember that's what I did for Nemesis. I made my friend Gregory come over and he played the game, and I just watched him play the fucking game. I played through two, and then when I saw the Nemesis shit, I was like, you know what? I'll buy the game because my grandma will buy it for me since you guys can't get it, and you guys just come to my house and play through the game. I just want to see what happens. So that was that. But I want to go into like the TV show. So we got like another reboot of the movie, which of course they're not ready to see it show us yet. We got the TV show with Leon and Claire reprising their roles and shit like that. Do you guys think that since all this shit with Resident Evil coming out this year, is it any of this gonna? Well, they said it's gonna be canon, but do you guys think the canon is gonna be part of what we're gonna see in part 8 or 7? Do you think they're gonna connect that to any of the Netflix stuff or the movies that we might be getting later this year?
You know
Or
what would
not
be
this year, maybe
you know what
next
would be interesting if maybe they do like a something like The Walking Dead did when I forgot the show, the one before The Walking Dead, like
year. Fear the Walking Dead.
something like that. Maybe something like The Fear of Resident Evil 8, where like they set it up for what happens in Resident Evil 8, where you get to know these characters a little bit better. Maybe you can see what Chris Dutt is doing in the beginning before he goes to the village. I think something like that would be pretty cool, just to like set it up and build like a universe outside of just the movies, and just like and it links into Resident Evil 8 and plus more. I think that'd be pretty cool. But or maybe that'd be I think that'd be a cool idea.
That would be. I think that from what I've read so far, because I didn't watch all the things. Well, they only have that one thing that I saw, but they're trying to link up the storylines because remember this right now. Okay, Resident Evil, which they're trying not to call 8, which I keep calling it 8 because everyone's calling it 8. They're trying to link up
They still
all
got
of
eight in
this.
the damn name.
What?
No, they still
Which
put
is
8 in the damn name, so they can't really
I know
stop
because
you from saying it.
everyone keeps calling it 8 also. So it's like yeah, but like they're hesitant about calling it 8, which I thought was pretty interesting. But that's not whatever. But what they're trying to do is like bridge the timelines because realistically, Resident Evil 8 coming out, is like it's due to so many people that didn't actually play the games, or people who heard like this game was trash or that game was trash, or maybe the first game they played was Resident Evil 6, which would be horrible for them, unfortunately. Um, yeah, so think of it like that. So they're trying to literally bridge all the timelines. They even have a movie that they're trying to link up as well. What is it? In addition to Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, Netflix is also hard on work live action series Resident Evil franchise. So that's their own separate thing. They have a new origin story movie currently in development as well, which is the adaptation that aims. It talks about literally so much shit. Like they mentioned Joe Valentine, Chris Redfield's going to be in it. Of course, Claire's going to be in it. There's also something to do with like was it Wesker? Do you remember Wesker and Jade?
Well, who doesn't remember Wesker?
Yeah.
It's a
That
Marvel
asshole,
vs. Capcom game.
right? That asshole. So they're gonna have a new story across two timelines centered on Billy, which is Wesker's like
Child.
like yeah. Wait, what?
His child? I know he had kids.
Yeah, he did have kids. He did have kids. But they're going to talk about Jade and Billy Wesker as well. There's going to be so many different things. And I mean, that alone, I think, is going to be like only a few episodes, just the first season, because you know how they're doing like the short episode thing for the seasons now on Netflix, which kind of sucks. But yeah, so they have so much stuff, and I think that's why they're doing it. They're literally doing what Final Fantasy tried to do, which they're doing currently. They do okay, here's an anime. Okay, here's a movie. Okay, here's another anime.
But they
Here's
did
a
with Final
TV show.
Fantasy 15 and 7.
You know what I'm saying, right? Basically, right? So they're doing the same exact thing to keep it long, like lasting, which is why I can laughably
Longevity.
ignore the Resident Evil multiplayer because of all the other stuff they're gonna get. I'm excited to hear about how they're gonna link up the stories. It's for
It
all the people who
sounds.
have never seen the play the games or beat
Do
the
you think they
games.
can do that? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
if
just
you had
make
to
an
explain
anime.
to me the story of Resident Evil 1, 0 to 8, how long do you think that would take?
It wouldn't be a minute because there's so many
That was a long.
side
And that's what I'm saying.
stories.
Like, that's a
But
big deal because for
that's
someone
money.
who
That's
no, I know,
money if
no,
this game doesn't.
I just think that it's very complicated, and I think that it's a
Well,
lot. Like,
they
and
have
like even
different people
you told
making
me
it too, though.
from like the people who might just catch this on Netflix who probably doesn't even play the games. You got at me for calling these things zombies, and you're like they're not zombies. Like,
Well,
do you
some
understand
of them
like
are
how complicated
zombies.
that is? It's like
Well,
when does
it's
that
because you
switch
gotta
happen?
throw. It
No, but
happened
like
a
it's a
minute ago.
I
Yeah,
know, but like to like the regular audience who's gonna watch this on Netflix, like okay, Resident Evil zombies, and you're like
that's
it's
what we
very
got Google
complicated.
for. That's
Okay,
what we
I
I
know.
got
I'm
love
just
Google.
saying it's a
I
complicated story.
love Mila Jovovich and her husband, but they messed up my franchise, and so because of that, everyone just thinks of that.
What up,
That's how I
DJ?
feel.
Good DB.
Hey, hey,
Yeah, so I would love no honestly I'm not saying that as like somebody
I
who doesn't want to
respect
say
what
it.
you're
I would
saying, though.
love to see that because I'm fucking lost when it comes to Resident Evil. If I could
Yeah,
watch like a fucking season, 2 seasons of, like from beginning to where we're at now, I would watch it.
Look it up on
No,
YouTube.
but like I
You
want to watch it.
understand.
I don't want like to have some guy tell me a story. I mean that's a story that I
you want
think
to
I
see
would
it
want.
enacted. You
Yeah,
want to
like
watch it
kind of
happen.
like The Walking Dead did. Like they took a comic book and they
Literally.
made it something
Oh my
unique.
They
gosh,
made
that'd be
it
fucking awesome.
different though. They
No,
didn't really
no.
copy
Not
the
I
Walking
mean,
Dead.
I think
The
they made
Walking Dead, the Fear of the Walking Dead, I think did a better portrayal of it because they had all those stupid, not they weren't stupid, but all the sidelines, all the side stories
yeah.
that linked it together. That's exactly what happened with Resident Evil.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I know Dre and I have a big difference on this because he's very like hardcore. This is a story and this is what I want to see
I
on the screen. Well,
I
I'm
know.
open
certain stuff.
to
Certain stuff.
interpretations on things because that's what this life is. Like I hear a beat and this is my interpretation to that, and you hear a beat like, no, I don't want you to rap like that. This is how I imagine you to rap like this. Like life doesn't work like that. It's
No,
art.
it
Yeah.
could work. All right, how many times have we had conversations about video game movies that would have been better if they just followed the video game story and didn't try and make their own story?
I agree.
I
Just like
mean, but
there's a flip side to that. Somebody who just doesn't give a shit and just looks for money and it's
All
exploiting.
right, but is that what you want as the
I
audience?
would
You
love
guys
if
got people that give us something for money, or you guys want to
I
see
think for
what we
honestly for
know?
like a
You
franchise
know,
well,
like Star Wars, I'm sorry, Star Wars, Star Trek. J.J. Abrams came in, reinvented that universe and made it popular. There's like
no,
people who
well, but he didn't redo
yeah,
anything that
he
was done
did the whole
before.
beginning
He
of the
made the
first one.
younger versions
He
of them.
changed it. See, that's what's funny is when
He
it's
didn't change nothing. He
he
made
just said
younger
they made him
versions.
younger, and then
If there was
and
a
then
young
in the
version of
second
Star
movie,
Trek,
Spock
that was
dies. He
yeah.
saved Spock, and they did different dimensions. My dad, I
there
grew
is an
up watching Star
alternate.
Wars.
Yeah, I grew up. Wait, what? You stop.
I grew up with Star Trek, so like I
Okay, yeah, I'm like,
personally
please
like
fix that.
I watched every generation. I watched from beginning to the
Yeah,
end. I
I was
watched it with
younger
my dad
also.
every day, and he changed a lot of stuff. But I'm saying the change was good. It got more people to want to go to the old episodes. It got people wanting to watch the new stuff. So that's what I'm saying. I'm open to it. It's very dangerous when you get greedy corporations who just trying to make money off of it. I get that, and I didn't mean this to be a whole rant about different
Nah, ran
philosophies when it
away.
comes to like
That's why we here.
a
That's why we
medium.
here.
But
No. But I'm
um,
telling you now, if a Metal Gear movie comes out and we start seeing characters that never existed in the Metal Gear universe, we're gonna eat their ass up. You know, like if we don't see fucking Snake, like imagine if they say, "Oh, we're not gonna use Snake anymore. We're just gonna make the movie about Raiden." And there's no such thing as Snake. You think we're gonna tolerate that shit?
I
Nah,
I
mean,
no
I
watch
one's
don't
it.
think they
gonna
were.
tolerate that shit. I love
I watch it.
Raiden, but no one's gonna tolerate that shit. I love Metal
Raiden
Gear
cries
Solid,
like a big baby.
you know, but no one's gonna tolerate it. They'll watch
Yeah,
it,
but
but
no,
not gonna tolerate it.
my whole point was like, I think that would be a great TV show if they did. Like, they already have plans for Netflix. I think if they kind of,
Netflix and movies.
yeah. So I just think if they like care for, I'm not saying change it up, but like I would
No.
love to see it played out in a
Now,
TV
this
show.
Netflix stuff is gonna be perfect because it's canon. So
Yeah,
they're not gonna fucking fuck with the game stories because it's all canon, which means everything that happened in the games is gonna come into what happens in
Well,
these stories.
I mean, that's not true because they are doing a new origin story.
Oh, is they gonna change it all up?
But that's the movie. No, Netflix is doing a new origin story for this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're trying to make a new story. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier. It's a
No, but
different
they're making more than
adaptation.
one thing. They're making more
Well,
than
yeah,
one thing. Yeah.
but there's a live action thing happening as well. It's a series adaptation, but like, yeah. To both of you guys' point, Freddie said he's interested in seeing that, and you're like, whoa, they can't be changing stuff. And I'm saying they are changing stuff.
But all I care that is canon. Canon means that whatever happened to games actually happened in these people's stories. So that's what I care about. Like they could go ahead and do an origin story, but as long as after that story, they end up inside the Raccoon City police station, and they better show me all those puzzles when they get in that police station too.
They're not showing puzzles.
They're not showing puzzles. They might be key.
You know, I want to see all that.
Yeah, you're like, dude, who wrote this? John was on vacation.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna say, what do you guys think about the Netflix Resident Evil Netflix shows? Do you think it's something to look forward to, something to watch? Let us know in chat. I said how I felt. Fleece, did you say how you feel? You were just like in the middle for a little bit. You said you liked it, right? The idea of it.
I was commenting on you guys because what's happening. I'm sitting back. I mean, listen. Okay, no. Hear me out. Listen. This is not gonna be too long because you keep cutting me off. Literally, I feel as if. Yeah, regardless of what they show, I'm gonna be present for it. Because if I sat through all of Mia Jovovich's movies and I sat there with popcorn and ate that shit up, then I'm gonna sit through this. Like they can't do any worse than them. I'm sorry, they can't. Like they destroyed. Okay, they destroyed all of. Yeah, they won't. They destroyed all of my films, all the storylines. They started adding new people in. They had some comedians. The dude with the crazy leg from Friday. Like I'm like, yo. But I sat through it, And then Alice, who doesn't even exist in the verse, she exists. So I mean, they can't do worse. So I'm here for it.
All right. That's how I feel. Not to get you pissed off, but I thought those movies was okay for what they were. Like no,
I didn't say they were bad. I sat through them.
I'm like, they're okay. Like I
mean, they got progressively worse, and then they got better because like you could tell when they lost funding. Like the first one had like a lot of fun, like it had minimal funding. It had enough funding. The second one it went down. The third one was like, what the fuck is this? Then the fourth one, all of a sudden, Alice is like quadrupling herself, or more than quadrupling. And I was like, wait, they got mad funding now. And then like it just got better. Money. And then the one with Wesker, and I'm like, yo, what did this get this? Someone they paid somebody.
That's when they took too long because that's when they decided, okay, they're bitching that this has nothing to do with Resident Evil. And they're like,
well, Resident Evil 2.
They're like, let's incorporate some of the characters, and maybe that'll save the franchise.
It does not.
Was those movies ever canon, or they never were canon?
No, they're not canon.
If you go with yes, Dre, you're correct. But if you go with what was happening in Resident Evil 1, it could have been canon because she could have been. Yeah. She could have been a STARS agent undercover. Oh, no, sorry, not. She was never an agent. She was a person that was stealing secrets. She could have been an employee because there was in the all those files that you pick up in the police station and in the sub basement and the labs and in Code Veronica. All those there were people who were stealing information to sell to others. So she could have been one of them. So Alice didn't have to have a real name. She could have been but. As they progressed, and then he had the child robot AI thing, and I was like, all right, well, I don't know where this is going, but yeah, like it could have been like the first one. It was perfect basis to go anywhere, and then like the next one, you're just like, all right, well, now they found the kid. What the fuck is happening? The kid's real. The kid has a virus, and she needs an inoculation.
It's there's a whole bunch of shit. I try to forget that fucking story now.
I remember them all. I owned them all on Blu-ray.
I don't know if you guys have anything else to speak on Resident Evil, because I have nothing else.
I said my piece.
Yes, we can move on to. Can you guys know?
I know you want to, so I said my piece.
Gamerish, we talk about all different important stories that's in the gaming world. Freddie, I know you had a story that you wanted us to discuss that has to do with Cyberpunk. Yes, people,
Yep.
Cyberpunk is still in the news.
Yeah, even today it was like stuff in the news. It
Yeah,
was
I'm pretty sure a bunch of you seen
Yeah, I was
like
looking at it
stuff.
earlier.
So Freddie, go ahead and hit us with what you
so.
want to discuss.
I've been reading. I think we all have been reading about Cyberpunk and how they're getting sued by the investors. And I my question to you guys were, how do you feel about a video game company getting sued by investors because of bad I guess you could say bad game design or just
Bad
negligence, I
press.
guess maybe is the word. Um, and do you think it's something that we'll see a lot more in the future? From maybe other investors in EA, or let's say for other. I mean, do you think this sets a precedent for future sues? That's the thing about the New York. I'm not New York, America. We sue over everything. Like
Hmm.
the fact that they're getting sued, I think is kind of ridiculous. I think that if anything, the investors pushed them to put the game out sooner because, like Dre, I think you mentioned it in the past that they wanted to hit at Christmas time. They wanted to hit all that money. Was it Christmas time? When did this game come out?
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, November.
Yeah, they want to hit the Christmas money. They want, and I feel like they hit a lot. They felt a lot of pressures from those investors to push the game out when they knew it wasn't ready. So I was gonna say, what do you guys think about that? How do you feel about them getting sued? And do you think that's something we're gonna see more often from different game companies getting sued by investors over bad sales and stuff like that?
What sucks about one, I think investors shouldn't be able to sue people because things didn't turn out the way they wanted to. Because when you invest in something, you're taking a fucking chance. There's no guarantee in that. Like, imagine if every time we bought a stock in the stock market and then I drop, like sometimes I lose $700-800 a week in the stock market. You think I'm going to be able to go file a fucking lawsuit against all these companies that I invested in and say, you know what? Hey, because of you told me in the description that you had this grand drug that was going to save the world, but in all, it wasn't that damn drug. Now I could go and fucking sue them because they didn't deliver on that promise. I don't think fucking investors should be able to sue them because every investment you make is a chance that you're taking. You're either gonna gain or you're gonna fucking lose.
Yeah,
Unfortunately for them, they fucking lost. Like game was still good to me. I still have no problems with the game. Game is still great. Yes, I'm still waiting on the next gen enhancements, but I have Stadia. Everything's working great on Stadia for me. So but I think it's dumb. I think they're gonna lose because, like you said, they're investors. They're not like, and I know there's like different places. There's like two places that are freaking suing them for like false promises and things like that. But it's not their fault if they wanted to probably delay this game for another 2 years, and the investors are like, nope, you need to bring this out now because we need our Christmas money this year. You promised us it was going to be done this year, but I'm pretty sure they didn't consider that COVID would be around. They didn't consider all these people that's going to be working from home. They're not working in a building all staffed up where everybody could see everyone's work. It's just like, yo, this is what I did today. Now here, check this out. See if you could improve or add on to this. So I think it's bullshit. They don't deserve to be going through this shit. Uh, CD Project Red has given us great games, and I hope no one forgets what the fuck The Witcher 3 is, because, and even with the glitches that game had, it was still a great damn game. So, and no one sued because of the glitches on that game. People just sued on Cyberpunk because that shit what was there was too much promises being
yeah. I would say that game was overhyped as
was
fuck.
way
I
overhyped.
think that
I
hurt it so
thought I
much.
for hype. Like every time I see a game being too hype, I'm just like, okay, this just might fail because they're just hyping it up too much. And then when it comes out, it's gonna like, this is not what I expected. People expected perfection from Cyberpunk. It didn't get no perfection, yo. It had to be some type of type odd contract, and they definitely broke the contract.
What do you mean? Like, let us
No.
know what you mean by that. I was gonna say that, but Dre, do you think that you gonna see more of this in the future?
I'm sure we'll see more of it in the future. I'm pretty sure, like after people seeing this happen to that, if Halo would have made a bunch of promises for Halo Infinite, people were probably going to try and sue Microsoft, and Microsoft has like a billion lawyers they could throw at them. But
Yeah.
some would have probably just tried to sue Microsoft for not delivering on Halo the way they
That's
wanted
gonna say
Halo
like
to be
Mass
delivered.
Effect, Andromeda. Like I feel like
Yeah,
there's so many other games that probably deserve this more. Like no games deserve it's art, so it's all subjective. I think the reason it's suing is because it's so shit and potato on the old gen, and yeah, they should get a lot of shit for that, and they should have done the refunds. I think that's fair, and they gave them those
they gave the
refunds.
refund.
Yeah, so I think that like there's nothing to be sued, and the investors are using that as like their kind of I guess to back up the sue was that Sony did a refund, which Sony never does refunds. Everybody was doing refunds, so they kind of using that as like an example of why they're being sued. But yeah, I hope this is not something. And I think like the chat said, like I think that this is like how we always gave Animal Crossing praise because of the pen because of
Pandemic.
COVID. I think the same reason. I think if we was working and everybody was going home like working every day, I don't think the hype would like. I don't think this would be a fucking story like 3 months later. You know, I think it's because everybody's home still, not doing shit. I think that's why we keep talking. The fact that we're still getting stories on this is like, okay, this is like dead already. Like, just let it go. And I just wanted to bring it up just because I think it's a little ridiculous that a game company is being sued because this is the reason it's being sued, not because of
Exactly.
gambling,
There's
not because of loot
hundreds of
boxes.
games that come out a year that aren't good.
Yeah.
You know, like, but you don't
So,
see these other places get in.
Felice, what do you think?
Yeah, I have a few thoughts. First off, yeah, I agree with you what you're saying. I think it's ridiculous. I think that because I wrote that everyone's home. I think that realistically, if everyone wasn't home, if people were, if COVID wasn't happening, if it wasn't a thing, not only would we not hear about it, it wouldn't have never happened because I'm sure people like the production of the games have drastically slowed. Like we know the movies are not even coming out at this point on live screen. I mean on screen, they're coming out at home mostly, right? So I feel as if this wouldn't even be an issue. And yeah, you do make a promise to your shareholders to deliver a certain time, but I think that it's extenuating circumstances. Just like we didn't use public transportation for a long period of time, right? Well, because of pandemic. So I think that they should have taken that into account versus being like, well, that doesn't affect me. The pandemic doesn't affect me because I have all this money. You know, like I still want my game when I want my game. Like being like on some stats, like I want my shit when I want my shit. And legitimately, they only released it as everyone says and as you said, they only released it because they were being pressured. There's no way they weren't being pressured because it wasn't done. Like if you look at the like I don't know if they got affidavits for these people, but I hope they do. If you look at the workers that are secretly like, listen, they told us we had to get this shit done. And yeah, our developers knew it wasn't done yet, but they said we had to get this shit done because we saw them being pressured to get this shit done. So I feel like, granted, the shareholders are like, well, I'm not part of the company, so I have deniability. Like that's some mob shit. Like I'm in charge of just me, and that's your company, and I have money in your company, and you gotta give me my money, and I have all deniability. Like that's exactly what's happening to them, and it's messed up. And I wanted to read something real quick that I saw from Valve, because like literally like I remember the conference I went to when I was still at GameStop. It was the same conference that I met literally CD Projekt. I sat behind the like four of them sitting in conference in front seats listening to them like talk about like The Witcher. Like that was like amazing for me. And I remember Valve also being there. Gabe Newell says about what he thinks about this. He says, I have a lot of sympathy with a situation that every game developer finds himself in. There are aspects of the game that are just brilliant, and it shows a tremendous amount of work. It's unfair to throw stones at any other developer because just getting something as complex and ambitious as that out the door is pretty amazing. Like, he's literally talking about, obviously, what's happening with them and stuff like that, but, like, people having this class action suit on lawsuit on them is just like it's fucking ridiculous, and it does open the gates to other things. Like I feel like this is like one of the last parts of 2020 in the last 4 years that are just like a shit show. If you understand what I'm saying, it's like, hey, what else can we do to fuck up everything? Like, let's just do this. And they're literally going to be the scapegoat, and then they're the example. I guess that's a better term. They are the example because you got Halo 5 when that shit came out, it was trash. Like, not just like the gameplay and the starting up of it, but like the emblem system and the microtransaction that didn't really work all the time, and the glitches in it. Got all the Call of Duties, including the ones out right now, that have all the glitches. They're not getting sued. You got the other game, the No Man's Sky, that just became an amazing game because it finally works the way it's supposed to
Well,
work.
at least a year now. At least a year or two now.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you're not getting my money. I'm sorry, No Man's Sky.
Yo,
I'll look at you from over the fence.
Worth
But
it. Pay them that
Mass
money.
Effect?
Give them your money.
Who's
Game
suing
Pass.
Mass Effect? Game Pass? I'll do it for Game Pass. But I'm not paying for it twice though. Who's suing Mass Effect Andromeda? Yo, my character glitched the thing. Okay, dude, my first YouTube video, Dragon Age Inquisition. My character was floating in the sky and they were walking like this. All of the Elder Scrolls. Who is suing these people? Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I think, like you said, it's like a perfect storm, and they just happens to be in the middle of it. That's all.
Yeah, let's get rid of 2020 with a bang. Yes, you're gonna get a lawsuit, and like if you read the stuff, it's a class action lawsuit, my dude. Do you know what that means? That means that everybody who possibly purchased and had said, like, if they could prove they have receipts like that, can like jump in on that shit. Like this, like, you know what I mean?
I think the difference between this and like Andromeda, Skyrim, all those other games is we
They
played
had workers to fix
didn't,
it.
we didn't ask for refunds in those games. We still played them. You know,
You didn't work at GameStop.
you know.
We got asked for refunds.
No, well, but it was small. It wasn't to the point where, hey, give me back my digital version of.
Because we weren't at home to ask about it.
I think
Okay,
that's what it is. I think,
2K,
like-
2K every year, 2K comes out, right? I'm talking about the basketball game specifically. The 2K, the my team, every year in WWE, the points, every year the character creator shit does not work when it comes out. The people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars at specific stores just to it's cool, DJ Ham, just to spend money on this GTA Shark money. They ask for refunds all the time, and we tell them no. When I used to work at GameStop, because we told to tell them no, but like no one was home to ask fucking. Oh, let me ask Rockstar, and if they did, Rockstar probably gave them money, but quietly.
But that's cards, though. It has nothing to do with the gameplay itself.
I think,
the gameplay. You
Yeah,
know,
I think my
It's
point.
money.
Yeah, I think it's
Skyrim
money.
released 5-6 times already with the glitches, and no one says shit. You know,
I think it's because the pandemic.
We didn't know we could.
Yeah, I remember
We did not know.
that too. I think it's just I think it's just funny because I think everything
It could be
blew
all
up
of
this
it.
year. I think I saw an article where like more people played games this year than any other year, and they're like parents should be worried. It's just like this year is such a 2020 is such an asterisk year.
It's sick and tired
that,
of being
like,
sick and tired year.
Things like our president got banned on Twitter. Like things it was like so
Not
fucked
my
up
president.
this year. Former president. That you know that this I think for like this. What up, DJ? Let's know. We're talking about the whole CD Red game suit. Let us know what you think about that. I'm just saying it's such a like I think this year this is the only year all this shit would have happened. I don't
Of
think this
course.
shit and but the reason I brought this up because it just shows what's wrong with our culture is that like we're getting fucking like our kids are being fucking poisoned by these loot boxes, these gambling, 2K, and like nobody wants to stand up and be like, yo, let's sue 2K. They're putting fucking gambling in a basketball game. Let's get together.
that would be your personal gain right there.
No, but like it's fucked up. But we're suing
problem.
Cyberpunk because it's a broken game. We're not suing that our kids are fucking addicted to these games, to fucking all these card games.
Microtransactions.
Yeah, Fortnite. There's like hundreds of stories where people.
My son spends over $100 a fucking.
You're the gamer dad, so you're like, okay, I understand. But like all these other people who spend like thousands of dollars. I think there was ESPN Perkins. His son spent like $10,000 on his credit card on Fortnite. Like this is a fucking problem. These kids are gonna have issues growing up. My bad. I don't mean to say that.
No, you're entitled to that.
No, but
You're
I'm
entitled
saying
to that.
like there's so many stuff wrong with our society, and that fact that like we can't get together to sue on the right things. Like let's sue 2K, let's sue EA, fucking FIFA.
Sue them all. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's sue the fucking bad
no,
guys. Let's not sue
Maggie,
CD Red, who
I'm thinking
and
you. Oh my gosh, you're so
and that's
fucking
another
right.
thing is that what the guy from Gabe was saying from Steam was game is fucking a great game, and I think the reason that we don't see it is because we're so fucking jaded. Like Cyberpunk is ambitious as fuck, and like
Fuck
right away
yeah.
we're not giving it a praise. We're right away like, okay, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? The driving sucks. But we're not saying that's the problem with our society. We're never saying what's good about something. We're the first like our society is like, what's wrong with this picture? You know, and I think we are. I'm getting all fucking. I'm drinking too much,
Hear me
guys.
so much again.
but,
No.
but like, I
Which
think
is what
like
we
we
just
should talk. Yeah, like let's talk about the good stuff of Cyberpunk. Like it's
That game
almost
is
like you can't say
beautiful.
anything good about it. You know, it's almost like, oh, I like Cyberpunk. I must keep it to
I
myself. Like
can.
it's a great fucking game. Like
I say it all the time.
no, but like you
My
don't hear
dude.
articles about it. You don't see
I'm
articles
in
about how
love
great
with the.
this
I'm
game
in
is.
love with the two girls. The girl in the desert. I'm
Judy
in love with
and
her. Yo, they could both get it.
yo, what's
And
her
twice
name?
on Sunday.
Yeah,
But no, my dude, listen, I agree with you wholeheartedly about what you're saying about that. But I think I'll take it a step further. Okay, Mad King. Think of it this way. Okay, what's the main difference other than the fact that it's COVID? The result of COVID is most of us are awake now. In the last year ish, maybe more. Actually, I want to say last 4 years, but it really started last year. All these rise up and movements. All these movements have done so much good things, but also there are like the cancel culture, that pops up too, right? Like, oh, time's up, time's up. Time's up was never meant to be for some dumb shit. Just being real, you know? So if you think of it that way, we're all home now, and our eyes, for the most part, whether it's open to dumb shit or if it's open to realities of the world, it's open. So now we're like nitpicking at all this shit, even though we still have these great ideas of what was good when we played the other trashy games that glitched the fuck out. We still have good feelings tied to that because that's not current games. So what's current right now is Cyberpunk, unfortunately, taking all the hits in the ring right now, and with that, what's he saying? Oh, the game can't be great because it's broken. Like how? Oh, don't listen to him. He has a PS4. He ain't got a PS5. Anyway, so like I was saying, like
yo, it's like if I play Cyberpunk on a toaster, it's gonna be shit, bro.
It's gonna
Upgrade
be
your
shit.
system.
It's gonna be shit. It's gonna be
No,
shit.
just joking. Play it on Stadia though, bro. I give you a free
I love
time.
you.
She went in, right? Yeah.
No, because if you watch me, he stayed trolling me in my stream. He talks about my Call of Duty playing. He watched me playing with you, Mad King, and he was talking trash about me playing. So get a PS5, get on my level. So like I was saying, yeah, so I feel as if because our eyes are open to everything right now, because everyone's bored. We're not working every day doing the what do you call it, the rat race, the circle, the hamster wheel. We're not doing the hamster wheel, so we have nothing else to do but be home, complain, and be miserable with people who we don't want to be in quarantine with. So what else are we gonna do? We're gonna yell at the people who we spend our good coin on. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. I mean, it is their fault for releasing it. But
that's what I'm saying. Like to DJ's point, like they should, and I think they addressed it, and
they did.
They should have released
but don't get sued.
Like, I think it's a complicated situation because I think they like the game people who are making the games kind of secretly leaked that like we was getting pressure to release this game, and it's under a pandemic, and maybe looking back they shouldn't have done it. They should have done it. But DJ's right about like he got a broken game. And so his view on this is different than my view. Where I'm playing fucking gorgeous. Like my game is nice. So like,
I think got Cyberpunk.
But like, not to like, I didn't mean to dismiss what you felt, DJ. But I'm just saying, like,
I did though.
I get what you're saying. It is a broken game if you are playing on a base Xbox and base PS4. But if you're a gamer, bro, you need to upgrade. Like it's 2021. Like
he said he's waiting for the kinks to get out.
Yeah.
He's still playing VR.
It's a dope game. I think if you waited already, wait for the next gen upgrade. If you're gonna wait already, just wait for that. But yeah, Dre, how you feel? You kind of quiet back there.
Nah, well, I gave my.
I was too passionate.
You know, I was yelling. Felice was yelling. Ready for you to yell, man. Come on.
Nah, y'all saying everything for me, man. The game to me is still good. I understand those who got on the last gen consoles to feel like it's crap and stuff. But I'm still good with it. I don't want companies to start getting sued over stupidness because now we're getting to this point where companies are scared to release their games
Which
because
oh
they're afraid of bad. Like Halo, I should have my Halo, and you guys know a few podcasts back how I went in on everybody for fucking hating on what they were doing on Halo, but the game was like 4 months away from being released. They could have fixed everything. This is why people don't want to give us demos and early access anymore, or maybe they want to give us the real game. This is probably why Steam gets all those early access games, or they just quote unquote say early access, but this is the finished game. They want to see how much you guys are gonna bitch about it, and then they fix it as you bitch, and then say, "Here's your full game when you're done bitching." You
Yeah.
know,
I'm a
so
bitch about it. I'm a bitch about it because I'm a Halo 1 fan. I'm a bitch about it.
I'm about to say, but I would have gotten Halo Infinite by now. I would have sit. They said this game is supposed to carry on Halo for years, so there was going to be patches, there were going to be updates. Blasey, blasey, blasey. Everyone's focused more on multiplayer than they're focused on the story. I'll be the one out of 100 that's going to be focused on the
I'll
story.
be focused on
You
story.
know, so
I
two
think
of us,
Halo's a story though.
you
Yeah.
know, will be focused on the story. I know we still got to finish streaming Halo. You know, that's like our dead cat. But yeah, I just it's a slippery slope we're going down, and now we're gonna get a bunch of games delayed over the years because
Yep.
people are gonna be
Cancel culture has
yeah,
entered the video game world.
exactly. Like
Pretty
we're gonna
much.
miss out on a lot of stuff, and you're gonna be like, go ahead. No, we can wait. I don't care if you wait. But this is
Yeah.
everyone saying waiting as if we're all invincible and we don't know when we're gonna die. If I could have gotten
Oh
Halo,
damn, he just
You
went
made it
there.
dramatic.
He just went there.
I'd rather play Halo before I die than say I'll wait 2 years, not knowing that at the end of this year I'm gonna get hit by a
I
bus.
mean, but
You
do
know,
you
like
really want that to be your last thought if it was a trash game?
no, I'm just gonna say, hey, if it's a trash game, whatever. Updates. We're in that day and age. Like we're
Well,
gonna
I
get
just
updates. I'd rather just get my
Next.
game and get
Go
my
about your business.
patch. Because even if we get Halo 2 years from now and don't get it this year, our first day we're gonna get like a 50 something gig patch, guaranteed. You
Call
know,
of Duty opened the world for that.
yeah, so it's it is what it is, but I'm done. I'm done complaining about video games like that. I just call it as I see it. When it comes out, when I see a preview, I say, "Hey, this looks like it's gonna be good. This looks like it's gonna be shit," and I end up buying both of them anyway.
You're
So
gonna beat it anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
yeah, so it is what I just want my games. I'm a gaming addict. You know, for those who know
Same.
about that, I'm just a game addict. I buy everything that fucking comes out, and even when a new game comes out, I play it for an hour, and I go back in the PlayStation store and be like, "Yo, did something else come out?" You know, so I'm just on that level. If we're done with that, I don't have no big topics to talk about. All I just wanted to drop was that there was an insider that came out today or yesterday, I believe. The same guy that predicted that Half-Life Alex was coming, like 2 years before it even came out today and said that Bethesda is working on Fallout Vegas 2
Yeah, I saw that.
for supposedly Game Pass and stuff, or for
yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think the chances of that just being an Xbox exclusive?
Yeah, I think
Uh,
Microsoft has to make something exclusive unless they really want that bread, which they have more money than Sony. Whether you guys think about it or not, Microsoft has more money than Sony, whether you want to believe it or not. Microsoft is not just Xbox, people. Just remember that. Because I know there's already people out there ready like, what do you mean? Sony's outsells fucking Xbox all the time. Yes, you can outsell something, but a company could still have more money than you. Okay, it's
I
possible.
mean, Microsoft owns like
Yeah, everything we're using right now is Microsoft. So it's like they got money, you know. But to make that exclusive, I would definitely understand some big game has to be exclusive, even if Elder Scrolls is going on PlayStation and PC and all that stuff, and maybe even Switch. That's them getting money. That's the smart move right there to make it on all the systems. 'Cause everyone is gonna fucking buy Elder Scrolls, but
I
Vegas,
mean, probably not buy it, not just Game Pass. So they're just
yeah,
gonna make more money off of Game Pass.
shit.
fucking game Vegas though, when Vegas 2, like how much people been clamoring for Vegas 2, people will buy an Xbox to play a Fallout New Vegas 2. That's console sales right there. Drop that on Game Pass, say all you gotta do is pay $15 a month and you're gonna get your Fallout as soon as you get your Xbox. You don't gotta worry about buying no disc or anything like that.
Even more on top of that, they have those fucking programs where you pay like 35. What is it? $35 a month,
$35 a month.
and you get a whole system and then Game Pass included.
So, and that's what.
Thanks.
Yep. So I think they're smart. They'll make at least Fallout. Give Elder Scrolls to everybody, but Fallout has to be exclusive, just like Elden Ring has to be an exclusive.
Yeah. Just to touch up on it because there's two newses that I wanted to bring up. Was one kind of small, just because only reason I thought about it is because Felice, the guy who made Ninja Gaiden, I don't know how to say his
Oh,
name, Itaki, he left and made his own company, his own gaming studio,
yeah.
and he said he's openly looking forward to maybe working with Xbox. So would you want Xbox to pick his game studio up and just make the next Ninja Gaiden or whatever his version is? Because I don't know if he owns the brand, but
Uh,
would you want to
mm,
see like the guy who made Ninja Gaiden kind of work with Xbox
It
for
could
upcoming game?
happen because Ninja
work
Gaiden
with
used to be an
that owned
Xbox
by.
exclusive.
Happy birthday, DJ Ham.
Yeah, happy birthday, man. I forgot to shout
You
that
gotta
out.
take a shot with us, a drink with us, a sip. Cheers.
But Felice, what you was going to say? I ran out of drink.
You asked me just as I'm taking a sip. Um, yeah, I saw something about that, but I wasn't too sure about that, Mad King. But all in all, I feel like I'm a little on the fence about Microsoft a lot of times. I know, like, I'll buy all the games, but like I do not like when they purchase companies and then make the games for them. As long as they give them like full autonomy and just like we're just gonna fund you and we'll get
Yeah,
some of the
that's what they
profits.
did. That's what they did.
But for me, okay, I know you love Halo, and I'm not gonna say anything negative about Halo.
Huh.
I'll try. I mean,
Say whatever
but
you got to say. I ain't
but
gonna get mad.
okay, so when Halo first came out, because I worked for GameStop for like my whole youth, literally. So when it first came out,
You suffered.
yes, yes, I sucked. Let's not talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about my PTSD. But when it first came out, it was only written to be I think it was two or three. No, three. It was like two or three lengthy books. The lore of Halo, and then the people who initially wrote it like went off left or something, and then because it was always Microsoft, obviously you know that, right? Obviously, but
Well, it's supposed to be a PC only
they
title first.
yeah, but the writers changed, and then like the game just started changing. And there was a big difference you noticed between four, also Reach, ODST. There was a big change with all the games. They weren't exactly the same feel, but you know it's Halo. They already got like the fan following, so no one really like batted much of an eye. It just wasn't the same anymore. So my fear when Microsoft buys stuff, with the exception of certain titles, obviously, if they're gonna like change the people that's developing the game or I guess writing the game specifically, then it kind of for me it changes the game. It fucks with me.
Yeah, I
So
think
my
I
only
agree.
fear is changing. My fear is changing what already worked. And if the story's supposed to end, because it was supposed to end, don't be like, oh, well, actually, what happened to Master Chief was he was on planet Narnia and he came back through the door to, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I'm being far fetched on purpose,
Yeah.
or obnoxious on purpose. But like, I don't like when they do that. Just make a new story. Not well, you can keep the world. You can say this person was in this part of the world or universe.
The
Like, don't
problem is
resurrect
fanboys.
them.
I think they tried that right with Halo, where they like kind of follow somebody else. The story where like you had Master Chief and then you had the guy hunting Master Chief,
Like at the
and
arbiter.
yeah, people just didn't like that because they want Master Chief, and I think you're right. I think they need
Which
to like,
which becomes pop sales and T-shirts and
yeah, exactly.
sneakers and
It's what sells.
then just
Um,
they just like rape the brand. And I hate saying that word out loud, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
It kills it for me.
yeah. I'd be interested if he joins just to see what maybe new ideas he has. Hopefully something different than Ninja Gaiden,
Yeah,
maybe.
Ninja
Um,
Gaiden.
that shit's a classic for a reason. So if the guy who made that could come up with a new gaming idea, I think that'd be pretty dope.
But
Yeah.
it also surprised me if they made Ninja Gaiden Xbox. 'Cause remember when the first Xbox came out, Ninja Gaiden was one of those games that was only on Xbox for at least a year or so before it finally came to PlayStation. So,
Ninja Gaiden Sigma.
again, too hard. That was the beginning of Souls-like games in my life because that was a Souls-like game to me. Again, it's way too hard. I was so mad when my dad bought that game for me. 'Cause I'm like, I can't beat this. I'm like, I can't beat this shit. I know, step my game up, but whatever.
Yeah. Hey, friends watching. See you guys watching on Facebook. Marsha Reed, Airy Bird, what's up? Welcome
Yes.
to the
Joining
Gamerish
us.
Network.
Thanks for joining us. I think, unless you guys have any other topics, I had nothing else to add.
No, I think we had a good podcast today.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
unless people have
For those who missed out
questions.
our live reactions to Resident Evil 8, look out for that video. It's up there on Facebook, Twitch, everything. You can find it on there. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. We appreciate it on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Follow the page, so you can get all the latest updates. Join our polls. We have a tournament going on for the most anticipated game of 2021. So if you're not part of our Facebook page already, you should join it so you can cast your vote and see if that game you really love wins at the end of it all. And if you did put a game in, you do get a $20 gift card, Amazon gift card from us once the tournaments are over. And then we usually switch it up. We do like games, and the next one's about anime, and one about TV or movies. So everybody can have an opinion and can't say that they feel left out. So look out for all that stuff, guys. We appreciate for everyone that joined us. Check us out next week on the next Gamerish episode. Check us out Monday on a drink and a game. Where we'll talk about straight up just games, not news stories, just whatever we've been playing and shit. It's always a fun time. Always remember to bring your drinks when you come into that thing with us too. Do shots, shots and shots. So until next time, guys, thanks for joining. Peace out.
So you guys.